eventually be a scarf. "Not bad," Greta said. "Now just do that about 400 more times, and you might have enough for a decent-sized scarf." Devon groaned. Already she was wishing she had stuck to reading the latest medical journals to pass the time, instead of trying to knit yet again. "I've got to go back to my office and finish the schedule for next month," Greta said. "Keep going. And remember, 10 rows a day keeps the psychiatrist away." Devon laughed, but didn't look up from the stitches. "How do you always pick the slowest nights to fill in?" Callie asked, after Greta left the nurse's station. "I've no idea, just lucky, I guess." It wasn't exactly true. Her nights weren't always quiet. The past few times she had substituted for the regular emergency department doctors at Lake Haven Hospital had been low-key like this one. But that definitely wasn't always the case. A month earlier, she worked the night of the first snowfall and had been on her feet all night, between car accidents, snow shovel injuries, and a couple of teenagers who had taken a snowmobile through a barbed wire fence. Like so much of medicine, emergency medicine was all a roll of the dice. Devon loved her regular practice as a family physician in partnership with Russell Warwick, who had been her own doctor when she was a kid. She loved having a day-to-day relationship with her patients, and the idea that she could treat an entire family from cradle to grave. Even so, she didn't mind filling in at the emergency department when the 3 rotating emergency medicine physicians in the small hospital needed an extra hand. The challenge and variety of it exercised her brain and sharpened her reflexes, except tonight, when the only thing sharp seemed to be these knitting needles that had become her nemesis. She was on her 12th row when she heard a commotion out in the reception area. "We need a doctor here right now." "Can you tell me what's going on?" Devon heard the receptionist ask in a calm voice. Devon didn't wait around to hear the answer. She and Callie both sprang into action. Though the emergency department usually followed triage protocol, with prospective patients screened by one of the certified nurse assistants first to determine level of urgency, that seemed superfluous when the newcomers were the only patients here. By default, they automatically moved to the front of the line since there wasn't one. She walked through the doorway to the reception desk, and her initial impression was of a big, tough-looking man, a very pregnant woman in one of the hospital wheelchairs, and a couple of scared-looking kids. "What's the problem?" "Are you a doctor?" the man demanded. "I know how emergency rooms work. You tell your story to 100 different people before you finally see somebody who can actually help you. I don't want to go through that." She gave a well-practiced smile. "I'm Dr. Shaw, the attending physician here tonight. What seems to be the problem?" "Devon, is that you?" The pregnant woman looked up and met her gaze, and Devon immediately recognized her. "Tricia! Hello!" Tricia Barrett had been a friend in high school, though she hadn't seen her in years. Barrett had been her maiden name anyway. Devon couldn't remember the last name of the man she married. "Hi," Tricia said, her features pale and her arms tight on the armrests of the wheelchair. "I would say it's great to see you again, but, well, not really under these circumstances, no offense." Devon stepped closer to her and gave her a calming smile. "None taken, believe me, I get it. Why don't you tell me what's going on?" Tricia shifted in the wheelchair. "Nothing. Someone is overreacting." "She slipped on a patch of ice about an hour ago and hurt her ankle." The man with her overrode her objections. "I'm not sure it's broken, but she needs an X-ray." At first, she thought he might be Tricia's husband, but on closer inspection, she recognized him, only because she'd seen him around.